Hello, welcome to FountainFX on Friday the 7th of November 2014. We are looking at the news. Today is non-farm payroll day, and as we can see, looking at the statistics, it's not as good as what was expected. 235 was the forecast amount. We've actually done 214,000 new jobs were created in October in America. What's that had an effect on the unemployment rate? Well, they expected the unemployment rate to be 5.9%, and it's actually 5.8%. So that's an improvement. So in terms of the US economy, it's all going in the right direction. Let's take another look at it from another charting package, and we can compare exactly how well the US economy is actually growing. It's growing quite nicely at the moment. And if we look overall at the US job market, we can see that since probably at the start of the decline was February 2008, and back in October, November of 2008, this was the crash, the big crash that happened, and we were talking more than like 500,000 jobs every month was being wiped off the US economy, so it's very, very bad there. But since then, we've had some spikes, a little bit of pullback, but we've had some consistent growth since back in October 2010 all the way through to now. So therefore we can see some consistent growth ongoing in the US economy. Unemployment rate is down to 5.8%, which is very, very strong. So let's see if all this good news, despite the fact that it wasn't as good as was forecasted, how it's actually impacted the US dollar today. So here we are on the 1 hour chart of the euro against the US dollar, and we can see here the candlestick here, we've got spikes, we've got wicks top and bottom, as prices obviously reacted to the news at the point when the news came out. But then since then, we've seen a consistent increase in the value of the euro, which is not something you sit there and think, well, it wasn't that far off the actual statistic. I mean, it's not like we were talking it was forecasted to be 80,000 and it's now 30,000 or something like that, where it would be a big percentage difference. So, you know, 20,000 difference from where it was, it's less than 10% variation, and obviously the markets are reacting to that. There's been an area of support that occurred this morning, and now price is pushing up from there. So therefore that's the opportunity. Well, the one I want to look at is the US dollar yen, purely because it's yen weakness, US dollar strength, and let's see how that's performed. Now with the US dollar yen, we can see the US dollar is pulling back down. The one thing from going back to the news is that at 5:15 this evening, 5:30, the chairwoman Yellen is speaking from the Federal Reserve. So the fact that price, it's almost like price is starting to stall in terms of its growth against the yen. At the moment, it's starting to roll over. However, we've got an area of what was resistance here. As you can see, it did come down and turn it into support, so that was a great buy opportunity there. Price has now turned. It did push up ever so slightly, but probably not too much higher. If we go and look at this and push this up here, we look at price has come in, even with this news pushing up and down, has come back into this previous area of resistance. Excuse me, and so now we can see that price is actually range bound between the 114, the 114.20 and the 115.50. So there's 130 points between these tops and bottoms. So not a bad area to be buying and selling. So what I would say is look at this area here for a buy order. If you're slightly cautious about it, you could put in a very small lot size, and as price starts to go in your favor, then add to that particular trade. What you could do, you could say, right, okay, we're going to take a trend line from here to here. So we're running it from tops to tops. When we see a break in this trend line, then we take the trade going in the opposite direction. The major trend line is here at the bottom in this uptrend, so it's got a way to go before it gets down there. But just to let you know, we are looking at the 1 hour chart, so it's not like we're looking at a 5-minute chart. So these points here are quite considerable. They are serious levels. The other one you could look at, if price breaks through that particular level here, I would say if price breaks through here and pushes down, then I would say use this as an area of resistance to then sell. But then you've got to look at this as a target of support where price may turn and pull back. Likewise, if it breaks through this, it could come all the way back down to here, and in fact with this looking as it is, I would say all the way back down to this level here, because previous resistance, broke through, and it's actually the origin of where price rallied quite heavily. We may see close of this particular gap here as well, so you do need to be aware of these things, but at the moment price is still pushing up. If it doesn't take out this low here, which is previous resistance, then I would be saying buy and let it continue on up. You've got a first target up here at the 115.5, and you could look to take it higher from there if it does stop. The news on the US dollar is not that significant for it to be causing this level of sell-off on the US dollar. So there's either more information behind it that Chairwoman Yellen's going to share, or it's just the market selling off because guess what? It's Friday. Hey, let's take our profits. Let's wait until Monday and see what happens then. So we shall see what goes on from there, but this is FountainFX. Have a great weekend. We will catch you Monday, and in the meantime I will sort out a webinar for those of you that are interested in your Earn As You Learn program, and I will post that as soon as possible just to confirm the date. It's probably going to be Wednesday, and we'll run a half-hour, 1-hour webinar for all you guys and show you how to set up your systems to be able to follow profitable traders and make some profit from what they're doing, while you then figure out how the markets work for yourself. So that's it from FountainFX. If you want to email me, it's steve@fountainfx.co.za, and I'll see if I can help you out any further. And happy trading. Cheers. Bye-bye.